Hey, so right now I'll be watching YATAGARASU. The raven does not choose its master, and it's also known as The Crow does not choose the Lord. Episode 1. And this anime series I just found out about approximately last week, and I had assumed, like a lot of people also assumed, it's gonna come out on April 6th or April 7th, depending. And I looked at it throughout the days and it never came out, and I was like, well, where is it? And finally today is the day that it comes out. So apparently it was the 13th, not the 6th or the 7th, like I thought. When I saw this trailer, it immediately reminded me of a lot of different kinds of animes. Well, the first thing it reminded me of based off the title is Raven of the Inner Palace, because it's set in a similar setting in ancient times and they have to deal with both palace and political intrigue. And looks-wise, it kind of reminds me of Oku, the Inner Chambers. Since they do look similar, although the one thing I did want to note is that when I saw this trailer and I saw this character for the first time, my first thought was, ew, what is up with those eyes? They look creepy and ugly. But besides that, the trailer itself seemed very interesting, and it also reminded me of The Apothecary Diaries, because similarly, it's based in ancient times and has to deal with both palace and political intrigue. And also, apparently, I'm not the only one who thinks this, but when I saw the trailer, one of my first thoughts were, is this a BL? I have nothing against BLs, but I'm like, it looks like it might be going that way, because it's gonna be a master and aide relationship, and it seemed to me, the way he talked to the aide, it seemed to insinuate that it could be a BL, at least to me. Because he said, you're worth 100 men to me. And although true, it could just be in a friendly way or in a master and aide type of way of saying things, but it just came off a little weird. And I know the guy is young, so most likely if it is a BL, it won't happen right now, but it might happen later on. And just because he's gonna pick between 4 women, or if not all of them, to be his wife or concubine, whichever one it is, it doesn't mean that he also can't have a male lover on the side. It's just the vibe that I got from it, I thought would be like a BL. And I'm really excited to see this because it has mythology that I haven't really explored much before. Because I do know some Japanese mythology, but I don't know a whole lot of it. So this is going to be an interesting anime series to watch. And now having said all that, on to the episode. Okay. You know, it kind of gives me Demon Slayer vibes with this kind of opening. Although I've never seen Demon Slayer. Oh, don't tell me the sister's going to get killed or eaten. Oh, I'm assuming that's not a good thing. It looks pretty though. Oh shit. Oh okay, 3 legs. Yeah, oh gods, no, yeah, no, I'd be freaked out. Giant birds creep me out. I know that there's an actual huge bird. Oh, so those are good things, okay. I thought he was gonna eat them. Oh, like in the trailer. Ooh. Aw, tearness. Oh. Also gives me Himemiko and Kotaro vibe. Yamauchi. So also kind of like Wolf's Rain. Golden Raven. Kinu. Well, is it really single if he has consorts and concubines? Ooh, loving the colors. Oh damn. They don't have names or what? At least the second daughters? That's terrible. I wonder what it means then. Oh, how cute. I'm assuming she might be the main love interest. She looks very mature and like older. She looks maybe closer to his age. Oh damn, a 3rd daughter. Well, but the other one's a 3rd daughter and she had a name. Oh, you could just not pick her. Oh, there will be. There always is. Oh. Okay, she's a sister of the current emperor. Oh, that's cute. Well, that's not for ulterior motives. They obviously know each other since before. Oh, wow. You call those horses? Those are big ass birds. Those are not horses. So she's saying she's gonna poison the prince. Okay, so they actually do depict him like that. Okay. Oh shit. So I'm assuming that's not his biological mom? Well, she seems nice, but I don't know, you cannot really trust people in this place. Especially contenders for the emperor. Ooh, okay. See how that goes. Oh, that must be the 14-year-old. Well, she looks like she could be nice. I mean, I could be wrong. They could all be mean. But since she was the one I saw in the picture in the thumbnail for the trailer, that's why I assumed she'd be the main one. And I'm assuming it's this one. She looks like she'd be more like the main love interest. There must be some mythological story behind that too. Ooh, I love it. Change of animation! Oh. Oh my god, why would you fall asleep, girl? I like this story, I wouldn't fall asleep to it. But he'll be a keynote soon. Oh. Hey, it looks like Kaguya. Okay, so it isn't male only dominated. Ooh, thumbnail. That would be the 14-year-old, right? The one that looks nice? Oh, never mind, it's that one. The red-haired one. Oh, I wouldn't trust that. Would it not be faster to use your hands? I mean, I like being lazy and all, but I don't know. What? Is that a thing? Oh shit, he's still alive! I thought he was dead. And apparently he looks scared. So one of them is a raven? Maybe it's a Sebi? Or maybe it's the youngest one? Or her? I don't know. It could be anyone. Or maybe it's just like a metaphor. Ooh, pretty. Oh, she's flaunting her wealth at her. Okay, lady. Oh. That's a game? You know, you would think that she would be a little bit more well versed in this.
ご冗談でしょ。我が当家にも代々受け継がですが姫様は幼少よりおからお気の毒釣りですから。
Oh, doll festival. Oh, that's so cute. I'm assuming that's not what they meant. Oh, okay, they're laughing at how they look. But those look adorable. But she seems so nice. Well, yeah, I can see that. Oh. Well, she created a distraction for her to leave. That's good. Oh, they're just gonna go check on her, like, to see if she didn't hurt herself when that cup fell. The Empress? Or the other one? Oh, never mind, it's the other one. Oh. Hmm.
物心ついた時にはリは心配性の女房ば同じ年頃の子と遊ぶでもダメね間違いすぎるじゃあ宿下がりするか
But she's like a breath of fresh air in that place. The one from the south, right? Is it her? The prince? Talking about the prince like that? This is news to me. Damn. He's still a son though. Oh wow. So that. Oh, that's funny. Yeesh. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. That's why she doesn't like him. Whoa, shit. A priest? That's a bit extreme. That's why she did that. Hey, they're both in the same boat. Both second children. What do they mean by a real one? Did they not think they were Kinu's before? Yeah, exactly. I was like, real? I thought they were all Kinu's. That was the whole point. Red light district. Well? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, the hair. It's him! It's the prince! Right? I think. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about a lot of things in this episode. I don't know. It reminds me of Pokemon. You know, I'm surprised he came back so early. I thought they wouldn't come back till it was all over with. Oh, okay, it is him. Is he a swindler? Whoa, what? Hill Ravens. Yeah. Oh, okay. So they can turn into ravens. Yeah, probably shouldn't go like that. Oh, okay, so he can turn into one. Okay, I thought he couldn't. That is so cool, and he looks so much smaller than the other one. Oh, okay, it's over. Oh. Oh, it's that instrument. The koto? No, that can't be it. You know, for it being the first episode, we didn't see much of the prince himself, which I find a little bit strange since although he might not be the main character, he is at the very least a main character. He's a prominent figure. he's the prince, he's gonna marry one of those 4 women, and he's gonna get this country raven as his aide in the future. So I kind of found it strange that he wasn't really in it. He was talked about quite a bit, but he wasn't in it. And it turns out apparently that he's a true Kinu, which makes me question, like, does that mean that there hasn't been a real golden raven for a long time or what? Because the fact that they said he's a real Kinu, that means that they've known there hasn't been a 100% golden raven in a while. And he's actually the real golden raven right now. So I'm assuming that's why he was chosen instead of his older brother to become the next emperor, because he's actually the golden raven. What would you prefer to have? The eldest son, who's not a golden raven, to be the symbolic golden raven? Or would you prefer to have the younger second brother, who's an actual golden raven and who, for all intents and purposes, is the one destined to rule? Would you rather go by hierarchy of birth order or by natural born right? So going by that logic, you would go by natural born right, because he's the true golden raven. And also, I'm assuming that it's pretty much a given that he would be the one in charge, because regardless of the fact that if his older brother had become emperor, his younger brother would still have the natural and full and complete authority over all the other ravens, because he's the true golden raven. It can also cause a dispute for the throne that way, which they separate in factions, and with one faction wanting the true heir, the golden raven, who just happens to be the second born son, to take over the throne, and you have the other faction where they're more traditional. They're like, yes, it's said that the golden raven is set to rule, but going by birth order, he is the eldest son, therefore it must go to him. And actually thinking about it like that, if he had been born a female and she was the golden raven, would they have still made her to be the either emperor or have her just be the empress, and then have it be a sort of Oku in the inner chambers kind of situation, where the females rule here and all the males are the one who have to go and present themselves? Well, this is actually true in nature. They have to go and strut themselves like peacocks in order to win the favor of the empress and be chosen to be the consort. Because I'm assuming he wouldn't be the emperor. Because the way they have things, if anybody were to become the emperor, regardless of the fact if he was born to be the emperor or he married an empress and became an emperor, just by having the title of emperor, you would already outrank the empress. So they wouldn't be able to have that if she was a true golden raven. They couldn't have somebody else be over her. So far, I like Asebi and the other possible candidate who's a little bit younger than she is. I'm assuming that maybe it could be because of their young age. But I say that, but also, if you've ever seen Avatar The Last Airbender, you know that being a 14-year-old does not mean you cannot be ruthless and calculating and crazy. You can be. It seems like both the 14-year-old possible consort and Asebi are the nice ones, while the 2 older ones seem a lot more like their respective clans, which is one of them faking being nice or just smiling when they mean something else, and the other one being bluntly honest. This series really did remind me of quite a few animes, like I mentioned in the beginning, like I mentioned during the reaction. It did remind me of quite a few. Also of Kochiko and the story of Sayonkoku. Also remind me of Rine. And I'm curious to know who was that huge raven in the beginning, and when is he going to come into play to be his aide? I'm assuming it's going to happen after the banquet. And also the fact that pretty much a lot of people can turn into ravens. I assume that nobody else but the royal family could turn into ravens, but it turns out no. It doesn't matter where you live, it's just you can turn into raven if you have the ability to. I also think I'm gonna stop using Crunchyroll for right now, because I don't know if it's either my internet or just the app itself, but it keeps loading and pausing, and it kind of skips a few seconds ahead, and that's annoying to me, because I have to go back because I don't know the full context of what was being said. So I think I might go back to just seeing this on, because all I gotta do is download the episode online, and I don't have to worry about connection issues unless the cord itself is an issue. But besides that, I don't have to worry about having an internet connection, because I can just watch it immediately from my laptop without having to rely on the internet. I'm also surprised at the fact that a lot of people don't seem to shy away from possibly insulting the prince because they think so lowly of him, which is strange to me again, because I would assume that since they all revere the golden raven, and if they know he's the real golden raven, that they would be all over him, they would be crazy about him, they would obey him no matter what, they wouldn't speak bad about him at all. But that's the exact opposite. They don't care apparently, or at the very least, they're just going based off of how the current empress is acting. Which also reminds me, who is the Lady Raven? Because I'm curious about that. Like, I'm assuming that isn't a thing. Because although they didn't say it was gender specific, I'm assuming it's a male only thing where they can turn into ravens. And if there's such a thing as a Lady Raven, and if they mean it literally, there is a female who can turn into a raven, that must also be scary. It's something that isn't seen. So that's gonna be interesting, unless they mean it more to like somebody who's just similar to the current prince right now, or maybe attitude wise they are similar to a raven. I don't know what they mean by that. Also the fact that all these different places sent their princesses to be considered possible candidates to become the future empress really reminded me of Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, because they had about 2 chapters and 1 episode where princesses from all different regions and birth orders went to the palace to be considered to become the future queen. But what sets that one apart from all the other ones, for the most part anyways, is the fact that His Majesty made it abundantly clear to Sarafi that he did not care about any other princesses. He didn't care about how they looked, how they dressed, how they acted. He only wanted her. Even if she didn't think she wasn't pretty enough, she didn't dress nice enough, she didn't have the same intellectual qualities or proper etiquette or attitude that somebody who's gonna become the future queen should have, His Majesty didn't care about that at all. He only cared about her. And he made it clear to her, he didn't care about any other female but her. In his eyes, he only wanted her. So I just love him for saying that, and that's what really sets him apart from the others. And also I just love plugging them in whenever I can in these videos. And actually also going back to the trailer and where it was shown that this young raven is going to become the aide to the crown prince, and they're going to have a very close-like relationship where it's going to be a lot of power imbalance because he's the true golden raven and he's a country raven. It really reminded me of the Me and My Beast Boss series, because similarly it has to deal with a sort of similar relationship but different. Similar because it has to deal with an employer and an employee kind of relationship, and a huge power imbalance relationship because Atlas is this huge and intimidating lion beastman, and everyone is basically afraid of him because he's so powerful and he looks like the ancient ones did. And his personal secretary Sakioki is somebody that almost everybody else in that office considers to be the lowest type of person because she's a human, not a beast folk. But Atlas didn't care what others thought. He wanted Saki to be his personal secretary, so he made her his personal secretary, regardless of the fact that this could cause a lot of uproar because she wouldn't be seen as fit by practically everybody else. And also that both Atlas and Saki are considered outcasts because Atlas, due to his exuding of immense terrifying aura, he scares practically everybody that ever talks to him, and he's never really had a real friend before. And Saki's an outcast because again, she's a human. So for those reasons, it reminded me of these two, because besides the other 2 points, they're also considered outcasts because regardless of the fact that he is the true golden raven, he's talked down to by the empress and even insulted by quite a few other people, including a few of his own possible bride-to-be. And the aide is considered a lowly country raven. And so it's probably going to be a lot of uproar over the fact that the oddity of a prince has chosen this person to be his personal aide, when there's so many other vastly more qualified young men who can take the role and do it far better than he can. I'm assuming that the prince will not care and will really want this young country raven to be his aide. And with regards to Asebi, I really like her as a character. She seems very much like a breath of fresh air in that place, which coincidentally kind of makes me hope that although most likely she is going to be chosen, I kind of almost wish that she wouldn't be, because she seems way too nice to be part of this place. Although true, we don't really know the whole personality of the prince right now, although if my suspicions are correct and he's the guy who had the other guy killed in the red light district, then he could be pretty scary unless there's more context given, because for all I know he could be killing that dude because he slept with his favorite prostitute. I don't know. But considering the fact that we see Asebi being the way that she is, very nice, very naive to the ways of court, and just her personality in general, it makes me hope that she isn't chosen, because that place is very toxic. That place will ruin and change her forever. I would hate to see her go from this happy and class-blind girl turning into an emotionless empress, because that place is gonna ruin her. She seems so nice, which is something similar that I thought about when I was watching the Korean drama series, The King's Affection. So in that series, the female chosen to marry the crown prince, she was so nice. She seemed so naive but genuinely sweet. And I was watching it outside my cousin. She is so nice. That place is toxic and terrible for her. She should leave. She deserves a life where she can be happy and free of all this plotting and scheming and evilness. She should be in a place where she can be allowed to flourish and be happy and nice and be as naive as she wants without fear of it being used against her in political aspects. And it was sad because essentially what happened is that the longer she stayed there, the sadder she became. Both because she didn't have any friends, and also because since she seemingly kept being rejected by her own husband. No matter how many times she tried to sleep with him, he kept refusing her. But then of course later on we find out why. But that's a similar thought that I have been watching that series and watching this one as well, where both of these women, they seem very nice, very sweet, and they are probably in the worst environment they could ever be in. They should not be in a place that's full of such tension and plotting and scheming. They should be in a place that allows them to just remain basically the same, or at the very least, a place where they're not made fun of by others because they don't know as much as the others do. Like when they were talking about the incense, they couldn't believe that she didn't know what kind of incense she had. And then when she very happily showed them her very adorable dolls, they made fun of her for that. She's not used to that type of way. She's probably used to a much different kind of way back home. Like you said, she was surrounded by worrisome ladies in waiting. So she should be around people who are nice and aren't as mean as a lot of these people in this palace are. Aside, of course, from the prince's sister and maybe the other younger consort. Also, what was it about supposedly her not having a name and being the second daughter? When the youngest candidate, who was the third daughter, had a name, yet apparently Sebi didn't have one before? I just find that kind of strange. Now, having said all that, I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode, which apparently is out now, today, which I didn't know until right now. But I'm gonna have to watch that later on because my parents are gonna be home soon, so I don't have much more time to watch this. Oh. Yeah. It wasn't his fault. Is that him? Or is that the older brother? Yeah. He has hair now?
お喜びにこちらは白田王より駆けつけてくださった教員夏香様だ。貴殿のことは玄夜行に聞いておる。優れた優秀な男子が3人もいるとか。いや、とてもそのような。この機会だ。こらも夏香様に。
You're like, well, is he? There's not one son with a face. Is he laughing or crying? Okay.
僕が宮ガラスの方を犯して餅を召し上がったのです。お題を忘れだったので追いかけ
暴行を受けたの。
でも僕が悪いんです。失礼な態度だったようで怒らせてしまって。
Okay, I see. He's playing his cards right.
校長の息子だったんだ。
全部僕が僕らのせいです。カズマル様のただ食いも僕家族をいじめないで。ごめんなさい。
Oh, haha, man. Shows you. He's smart.
なんてことをしてくれたんだ。申し訳ありません。でもではない。話は取り消しだ。あんなに苦労して手に入れたのに。そんな。ユキヤ、怪我。
痛いっちゃ痛いですな。
それは何より。急に探さねばなりませんね。
宮殿下のそば使いとなれば。しかしユキヤ殿も時と
そんなに礼儀知らずですかね。
そこでどうだろう。
Oh, so it's his idea.
1年若宮殿下に仕えてみる。
ちょっと待ってよ。僕はそんなつもりで。なんて良いお話です。
This video reminds me of the Heikei story.
こうなったら腹をくくれ。いいか。1年経たずに自分総員に叩き込んでやるから。
勘弁してください。こいつはやればできるやつなんです。
He's like, yeah, don't also insult the priesthood. No, it worked out for the best though.
お体が冷えますよ。
若宮様はいつおいでになるのかしら。そもそもどんなお方なの？噂ではとんでもないうつけだと。
姫様。
Yeah.
紫は宗家にのみ。
Which is why it's one of my favorite colors.
多忙のため当面。どうぞお体。
The prince.
社交辞令でそういうことは確認できます。
いい香り。早くお会いしたいわ。
始め。
Ooh, Kendo.
なんでこうなるか。
お前は幸運。若宮殿下のそば使いなん。しかも今は数十。本来なら嬉しくて。赤一本。
僕はただ持ちだよ。その
あー
たる日を自分。
You know, kind of ironic that it isn't the reverse. He's red and he's white. Oh, okay.
僕は田舎貴族の
何を言うユキヤ。
ってごめんですからね。3年間だったら
Yeah?
という けでご心
日本選手により白の勝ち。
相変わらず強いな。タルヒのぬるま湯すだ。
Oh.
なんだよ。
You just insulted him?
しかし負けたのにかっこいいがたる。
No.
その次期郷長の音。
構えろ構えろ。腕を下げるな。おらららららららら。目が死んでら。いいな。貴様に殴られるだけで宮塚。
What? Was that easy for him?
知ってるか？タルヒ三兄弟の中で実はユキヤだけ母。しかも聞いた話によると超身分の津が選ばれたところで何の不思議も。
白計算づく？ここで殴られとけや。うまい腹とか。
Nope. Quite the opposite, actually.
まあ本人は面白くねえに一生田舎の次男坊じゃ。中央に行けばコネが作れる。を追い落とし自分が考えてるかもしれねえな。
やべえ、お家騒動だ。
Huh. He lost.
一流さんに手ほどきしてもらえるなんてお願いしてよかった。
そこで切り上げるぜ。しかし稽古なんてユキマに頼みゃいいじゃん。
一流さんと兄では格が違いますから。さてと。
Okay, I am concerned.
遅いなユキヤのやつ。
Oh, okay, good.
今度はお前が打ち込んでこいよ。
Oh, I knew he was faking it. I was like, no, I think he's faking it. I saw his eyes earlier with those nobles. Oh, so he's really hiding his skills.
早く次を教えてくださいよ。
Oh, that's cool.
いろいろ言ってくれましたね。
Oh, that's right. He did hear him. Good hearing. Oh, yeah, that too.
勝手に耳にも。
あれは話の流れで。
Mm-hmm. Oh.
僕が郷長の座を兄上か母親の血筋がいいから。
いやそりゃありえねえ。
Well, look what happened with the royal family. The second son got the position.
僕だってバカらしいと思って何もかも変わっちゃうなけど、それを利用する輩は確実。血筋とか家とかそんなのを口実に余る。そのためには人のか。
お前たちには荷が重い。ユキヤを。
Whoa, they took him from his mom.
家族が血のつながらない次男坊を可愛がってさ。僕は将来中央に行く気はないし、次男坊として一生兄上をある日に骨をうずめるつもりだ。家にはお家騒動なんて存在しない。
Oh, he actually would have hit him.
一流
は命令ですか。
No.
そうだ。
Oh shit. Okay, never
校
mind.
長である僕が言っている。
I mean, you could have asked as his brother, you know.
起きておられるのですか。
ちょうどいいところに袖が。
I wonder how she feels about this, considering that he's not her biological son.
たった1年、それにわざ母上が。
この子は世界を知ってほしいと思ってたから、今まで随分と窮屈な思いを。
きっと期待には応えられ。若宮のそば使いはたくさんいます。すぐに帰ってくるかも。
身に思ってますよ。くれぐれも体に気をつけて若宮様にお仕えしてらっしゃい。
お美しゅうございます。さに白玉の君の名に偽り。
Oh, her hair matches her outfit, looking more and more like Yukiona's here, ladies.
いなくなったホッケの姫の血筋。
Oh no, his mom passed away.
私方と聞いているわ。
These are all just rumors, you guys here. You don't know him.
他にも各所に送り込ん
Yeah, okay.
情報を集めておりますよ。何も問題は。
They really have no choice in the matter.
姫様には
もうすぐ完成。私を油断させ。
Oh, that is cool.
今が一番大事なところ。1年がかりでしたものね。
Whoa.
若宮様は聡明なお方。
That is some dedication.
になれば
And it matches her color scheme.
思っている。
浜優殿。
浜優様だ。お前の主人は私だ。
Oh.
間違い忘れちゃいない。だが肝心の若宮が来ないんじゃ動き。
Yeah, that is true. What do you want her to do with her time? Well, the other one is sewing a cloak, but still.
自分か。
Okay, he's supposedly protecting prostitutes, so he seems like a good guy. Oh, that sounds nice.
殿がお待ちだ。から失礼のないように。
はいはい。
違う。不用意に上でうろついたり、この方々の前では
Oh, that's interesting.
返された場合は
Oh.
に叩き込み。
It's funny how they're not flying themselves, they're flying on other ravens.
中央山だ。
So So are they like essentially Tengus? You know, they live on a mountain. All these people can apparently turn into ravens or crows. I'm assuming that Pokemon is based off of this creature. Oh, I'm loving the colors. Blue, red, green. Oh, Sunrise Palace. Makes sense with the colors. Like, what's his name? I mean, a little warning next time, sir. What the? This guy reminds me of that guy from Boruto. Oh, also the main character from The Boy and the Heron. Well, I hope there's no hazing, though given how these shows go, there will be a hazing. Yeah, why are the doors closed like that? You and him? Oh. Maybe that's just something they say on the outside, but he only wants one? Oh shit, that doesn't sound good. Chronic illnesses? Oh, so simple. We're gonna see him! This is just like my happy marriage. You probably met him. Yep, that is him. That's all we see of him? Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. Oh. What an interesting ending song. No, I like it. So in this episode we got to see more of Yukiya, and actually very little of the princess consorts in the royal palace. We got to see a lot more of Yukiya's backstory, which is both interesting, but also given the time, it isn't necessarily unheard of or uncommon, which is he's the half-brother of his older and younger brother. In between the time that his dad had his older brother and his younger brother with his wife, he met Yukiya's mom, had him with her, and then I'm assuming because of his family and everything, he then saw that it was fit for Yukiya to be raised in his official household instead of his mistress's or concubine's household. Which sucks because you see that he was already old enough to know his biological mom, and he remembers the pain he felt and what caused it being that the status of his paternal family being the main factor in him being separated from his mother. Which is very similar to what happened to Lady Chie from the manga and anime series Oku, The Inner Chambers. Since due to her lineage, after her biological father passed away, and since he didn't have any other children besides her, she was ripped away from her mother, who she lived with in a small house far away from her biological father's residence. And she remembered when it happened, because she was very happy with her mother, she lived a very peaceful and quiet life until they came to pick her up, and she hated them for it. Because she was forced into a role that she didn't want. She didn't want to go live in her father's residence after he passed away. She wanted to stay with her mother, but they wouldn't allow that because she was the only living heir from her father, and she was forced to take on his role as the next leader. But she always held resentment for that place because it took away from her true family. I also really like the fact that although she didn't give birth to Yukiya, Yukiya's stepmother is very kind to him and treats him like her own. She doesn't seem to hold any resentment towards him for being another woman's child. Most likely because either they talked about it before his father went out and met his mother, or she's already had enough time to process the fact that he's had a kid with somebody else and it's not his fault, and she should at the very least try to be accommodating and treat her children's half-sibling as one of her own so there won't be any discourse in the family. But apparently even the servants are surprised is so kind about the situation. So in a sense, it seems that all three of them are considered outcasts or different. The prince, because he's a second-born son and prince, and he was never meant to rule, and there's all these rumors going around that he's full of himself, he isn't a good prince, he never even bothers to visit the palace often, and so because of that, a lot of people have this certain image of him that isn't true, or at the very least I'm assuming isn't true. And then you have Asebi, who, due to her more humble upbringing and naivete when it comes to court proceedings and etiquette, she's also seen as an oddity because she doesn't seem to fit the standard for the palace. And then you have Yukiya, who's the second-born son of the house of Taruhi, and who isn't the son of the Lord's wife. He's the son of the Lord's mistress. And many people are talking about him and thinking that he's just riding the coattails of his mother's superior family lineage, and that he planned to become the prince's servant all along, when that isn't true. So that's something that all three of them have in common. Though I will say this, the coat that the red-haired concubine is making has got to be one of my favorite things that I've seen this episode. It looks really nice, and it does look like she put a lot of dedication and thought into that. And I'm wondering if she made that coat in hopes that when the prince sees her wearing it, he's gonna immediately think that this is the perfect woman to make his empress, and that she looks just like a Lady Raven. Though it is very sad that none of these four women necessarily really want to do this, or at the very least a few of them don't, but yet, because they're princesses, it's basically what has to be done. From the moment they're born, their life is already planned out for them. It's already planned out that they're gonna marry somebody of high standing, and they're not really gonna have a choice in the matter. Even if they fall in love with somebody of a lower station, they're not gonna be able to live with that person. Because of their lineage, they always have to go for something higher. They can never just go for something lower. And they're all seen as pawns. They're not really seen as people. And although we didn't see much of him, at the very least we finally saw the prince. And I still think his eyes look creepy. But I'm hoping that in the next episode, I don't think his eyes are creepy anymore. Or at the very least the animation for those change. But so far, he seems nice. Although the introduction really reminded me of Kudo's introduction at the end of episode 1 of My Happy Marriage. He also reminds me of Kudo because of essentially the rumors. Because essentially there aren't a lot of people in his household because either they quit or there's a lot of illnesses or family situations that cause them to have to leave. And Kudo similarly has rumors about him that he's this terrible man who makes all his fiancés run away. And also, I knew that Yukiya just had to be faking it. Although I'm not saying he can't be weak or at the very least not have a lot of skills before he goes to the palace, but the fact that they showed his eyes like that when he was being beat by those nobles, I was like, he can't be weak. He has to have some skill. And yeah, turns out he did, but he just doesn't like to show it. Because if right now, since everybody pretty much knows him as being the reckless and foolish son of Lord Taruki, and also the less skilled of his brothers, and the rumors are already going crazy as it is, if they were to know he was actually very skilled and very smart, it would fan the flames higher. And so he's really trying his best to make it seem that he's really far below his eldest brother so that there really won't be any disputes between the family of who should succeed his father. Because skill-wise, it looks like Yukiya has his older brother beat. Now having said all that, I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode.